Welcome back to Project 94 for another diecast review here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Junior Motorsports Xfinity Series diecast. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his 2023 Bass Pro Shops Club card, Chevrolet Camaro, for himself, Dale Jr. and his own team, and guess what? It's another Dale Jr. paint scheme. Dale Jr. has so many different Xfinity Series diecasts that have been made over the years. There's a couple more coming this year, and this is one of the cars he's going to be racing. This one right here, the Bass Pro Shops Club card. And I'm going to clear something up. In the last video of one of the Bass Pro Shops cars, because it's a two-car set, we looked at the Josh Berry version of this paint scheme. And initially, I thought that the Dale Jr. one was the same paint scheme as Josh Berry, but it's actually not. We're going to get a closer look at that later, so we can clear that up for the fans. Yes, these paint schemes are indeed different from each other. However, they are very similar in some ways. But the Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the Josh Berry cars are different from each other. So let's just clear that up. That's a mistake that I made with the last video that I did. Which was the Josh Berry. So let's get a closer look at this diecast. That should make this diecast review far more interesting. So let's get this diecast out of the box here for Dale Jr., everyone's favorite driver. Get him out of the box. And here it is, Dale Jr. And right off the bat, the Dayglow orange. Let me just take this away from the camera so I can kind of confirm that. Yep, it's a really bright Dayglow orange. As bright as you can get, man. Holy cow, I adjust my seat. Get ready to go for this diecast review. Here is the product out of the box. And man, I gotta say, this is a pretty attractive Bass Pro Shops car. Now, a lot of Bass Pro Shops cars usually have black or silver as the backdrop. But having the orange as the backdrop is definitely refreshing to see that. Just, it makes the car that much more brighter to look at. Just looking at the way this paint scheme looks so far. And guess what? This is another diecast that combines the awesome shine of gloss and the awesome flat paint of the matte finish. Blends them together. So as you can tell, the orange parts of this car are glossy, while the black parts are matte, as well as the yellow. I'm pretty sure the yellow is also... Never mind. The yellow looks like it could be either or. But the yellow stripe definitely adds to the black detailing of this paint scheme. So this number 88 diecast review is going to be a lot of fun. So let's get this diecast review on. It's got number 88. You got Camaro, Junior Motorsports right there. You have Johnny Morris, the iconic signature of Johnny Morris. You have Bass Pro Shops Club. And of course, Dale Jr.'s name. The Xfinity Series banner. Of course, you have Simpson, ARP, and Sunoco right there. You have the white Goodyear logo. You have the NASCAR 75th anniversary logo. You have the NASCAR Xfinity Series purple logo. And then you have Mobile One, Cometic, Arrowhead, NASCAR race car. Number 88. Dale Jr. with the Junior Motorsports little name next to it. You got Safety Clean, Miller, SEM, and Z-Max. You got Club Card. You have Exalta, the American flag, Bass Pro Shops, and Hellman's. And of course, this thing has black rims. And coming out of the back of this car, you have the Chevrolet bow tie. You got the rear view camera. You got two Bass Pro Shops logos. You have Racing Electronics, Mechanics Wear, and Mac Tools. You have Tracker, boats, and ATVs. And of course, you got number 88 right there in orange. You got the Camaro detailing out back. Coming out of the deck lid, you have Bass Pro Shops Club card, Dale Jr.'s name, and BassPro.com. And now it's time for the paint scheme review itself. So the base coat of this car is going to be that Dayglow orange, which is very, very cool. So the black on this car is either going to be wrapped or duct taped and painted. What that means is they'll probably get a piece of duct tape, cut out the shape of the way they want the black to look, and spray paint it, take off the duct tape so they can still show the orange. Or it could just be a wrap, because I'm figuring that they also are finding ways to make decals where they're actually matte or metallic even. So that's quite interesting, but nonetheless, the black parts of it are matte and the orange is gloss. And we're going to start out with the paint scheme, or continue the review of the paint scheme now that we've looked at all the sponsors. So it starts out with the black splitter, orange spoiler, which is cool, pretty cool to see that. The orange, very refreshing to see a colored spoiler. So the lower part of this front end right here is going to be matte black with the yellow stripes at the corners of the front end, which the orange stripe is going to wrap pretty much all the way around the black. And the yellow stripe right there is not going to be touching the edge of the black stripe. It's a bit of a space between that black stripe right there and, of course, the yellow, which looks pretty nice, I gotta say. So here is the side of the design right there. Of course, it kind of looks like a 70s paint scheme, which Dale Jr. always loves to do his paint schemes in sort of like a retro fashion. So this is definitely one of those types of paint schemes for sure. Of course, the black and yellow, the black side skirts are going to be all across the side. And of course, the yellow stripe is going to follow through and right around the number, which we'll be taking a look at soon. It's going to swoop back up and into the driver's window right there. So it creates a pretty nice looking L shape, a backwards L, slanted L shape. And then of course the matte black is going to continue all the way across the back portion of this paint scheme, around the hips, onto the rear quarter panel, and eventually onto the back bumper. Of course you have the Get Biofuel logo right there. And on the final pillar of this car, the C pillar, it's going to be matte black right there. And of course the yellow stripe. Pretty interesting what they did here. So they decided to carry the orange past the black and yellow stripes on the side. So you can see where it has matte black and yellow right there. It doesn't carry all the way up the window. The orange still continues up and through. And the yellow and black is going to be pushed back towards the corner of the rear quarter panel, rear quarter window right there. Which is kind of interesting to see that. They didn't just continue the yellow stripe all the way up because they wanted this pillar to have the orange behind the driver's name so that it can be easy to read, because he did his handwritten signature in black. So they had to put something behind that would make it easier to read. So they pushed that detail back, which, looking at it from the side, I think it's pretty cool. Because then on the door you have like a different like pattern to it. So it pretty much has the L shape there, and then looking at it towards the back, the stripes have been moved a little bit further back and away from the driver's name, which is pretty cool. I like how that looks. That's actually a pretty neat way of designing the car. Definitely would not have noticed that originally, but looking closely at it, those are just some of the details you'll notice on there. And the hood of the car is matte black, so it's really, really cool to see like the paint blend right there. Of course, you can see the gloss. Of course, you got a bit of hair clear coated onto the edge of the front end right here. The front wheel well, which is unfortunate. But check this out, guys. You could definitely tell. Look at the transition. Clean. It's not really a transition, but you could definitely tell, like, as you rub your thumb or your finger across the paint on this area, you could tell, like, the texture of it changes because the matte black, because all the black areas are matte, and, of course, the orange. So that feels really good. It's also really awesome to feel the texture differences between the paint, so you can make comparisons. So that feels like it's pretty high quality done right there, which is really rare for a Lionel. They usually don't have high quality, but I gotta say that is definitely attention to detail. And on the top of this car, you have the black roof rails with the matte black behind the number 88 right there. And of course, everything else in the back is matte black, but you do have that cool orange spoiler. But we're going to get to the number now, which I'm surprised we left for last. We usually get that out of the way as soon as possible. You have the Dayglow number 88 on the top, the same orange that's used for the rest of the car. And on the door, you have the black shadow with the white number fill-in of the iconic number 88, which Dale Jr. has made famous in the last half of his career, like the halfway point when he made his transition to Hendrick. Fun fact, this almost became the 81. Yeah, he almost ran the 81 in the Cup Series, and then something happened, and they just made it 88. Would have been interesting to see an 81, because that seems to be another number that he really likes. Dale Jr. loves his history, and I gotta say, this is going to be a historic paint scheme later on, because this is just one of those cars that just looks great now, and I'm sure it's going to look great another 10 years from now. Of course, you got the 88, the same one that was on the door, the black outline with the white number fill-in, just like what was on the door. And of course, the orange number 88. And that is pretty much this paint scheme. I love the way this car was designed. It's a really retro 70s paint scheme, which Dale Jr. has been known to design cars like that, so it's pretty cool to see this one made in that same style. And the black hood detailing with that awesome matte black hood, and then of course the edges of the front area right here having the gloss orange. So cool to see that. You can definitely see how the light shines different on one texture compared to the other. So as I give you guys close-ups, here's how the light looks hitting the orange paint, and here's how the light looks hitting the matte black paint. So they used two different finishes. So this is definitely a cool die-cast to have right here. I'm going to give you guys a full 360 view, and then I'm going to compare it to the other one, which was the Josh Berry car. So the camera needs to focus there. There we go. This is the right side of the car, close-ups of that. Here's the back. Here's the deck lid. Here's the roof. It's the left side. And the chassis of the car. And now I'm going to compare this car to the Josh Berry. So here we go, guys. Whoops, there was a little bit of a mistake. Let's fix that here. No, that's still not quite right. One more time. That's more like it. So here is the comparison between the Josh Berry and the Dale Jr. So let's get a closer look at this. Probably going to make the video a little bit long, but it is necessary for me to compare this because the paint schemes are different. We're going to start out with the front where the least amount of differences are. And as soon as I say that, I notice a pretty massive difference. I'm not talking about the background color because obviously Josh Berry is silver and of course Dale Jr. is orange. But taking a look at this, as you can tell, the orange on the Josh Berry, there's two stripes. You got an orange stripe and then a thin yellow stripe, whereas the Dale Jr. only has one stripe. And of course, looking at the hood, this is where it gets interesting. Look at the Dale Earnhardt Jr. hood. They left his hood pretty much all orange underneath the black. So you can see it started out black and then it finishes as orange. Whereas the Josh Berry, the whole thing continues as a whole black stripe. Then it goes way past the hood. It's really close to the headlights, man. So you can definitely tell that's a big difference right there. And of course, Bass Pro Shops club with the orange club, whereas this one has the white club. They both have a black outline to the lettering. And you got a black banner for Dale Jr. and of course a purple one for Josh Berry. And now we can start comparing. Obviously both of them have black rims and both of them have similar sponsors. But check this out. You got True Timber Camo, whereas the Dale Jr. one has the Bass Pro Shops Club card. And of course the Josh Berry has two different sponsors. We're not going to be talking about the contingencies or anything like that. We're just going to be talking about just the main sponsor differences right there. So as you guys can tell, True Timber on the Josh Berry, where there's none of that on the Dale Jr. Dale Jr. is pretty much all Bass Pro Shops club card. I don't think there's a mention of the club card on the Josh Berry diecast. That's more of a Dale Jr., more on the Dale Jr. car. The backs of these things both have, wow, so the backs are pretty much the exact same. Besides the spoiler color, looking at the back of them, both of them, they're the same, but the number 88 and 8 are the differences. And of course, you're going to have the black spoiler on the other one. And wow, here's another interesting difference. You have on the back of the Josh Berry, you have the club in orange, yellow card. And then of course, you have white club, white card, which is interesting to see that difference on there. Both of them have BassPro.com on the roof. And both of the tops are black. So there's similar stuff to it. Of course, the hoods are both black, except the Josh Berry has a full-on continuation of the black from the hood, whereas the Dale Jr. did not. Let's take a look at the main differences. So look at this paint scheme on the top for Josh Berry. It's more simple. Honestly, it swoops straight down. It goes from the side of the car and then swoops straight up. Not really much to notice there. However, the Dale Jr. is a bit more complex. The stripes are actually completely different. So you can see how it's like an L shape on the Josh Berry, whereas the Dale Earnhardt Jr., it's still an L shape, but it's a backwards L shape. So the way the numbers slant, or not the numbers, the way the stripes slant are obviously different. And of course, the stripes on the Josh Berry are consistent. The same stripe that was on the side is going to continue all the way up to the top of the pillars right there. However, on the Dale Jr., as we mentioned in the main review of this car, the stripes were pushed back because if you look at the door stripe, that would have slashed right through the name pillar. It would have went straight through and you wouldn't be able to read the name. Whereas the Josh Berry, because it was a consistent stripe, there was already plenty of space to put his name without pushing anything back. So yeah, those are pretty much the main differences right there of these two cars. And that is pretty much it. If you guys notice any other differences between these cars, definitely let me know in the comments. Obviously, the color is different. You got one silver and one is orange. But in terms of the paint scheme, they are different from each other. So I just wanted to clear that up. That was a mistake I made in the Josh Berry video, that I thought it was the same paint scheme, and it was not. So, yeah, guys. Hopefully I cleared that up. And, of course, the number color and all that stuff's going to be different because different driver and whatever else. So, yeah, guys, definitely pick up these two cars. It would be cool if you can get them together. I didn't get them together. I got the Josh Berry first and then got the Dale Jr. under the impression that I thought that they were the same scheme. And if I had to pick between the Junior and the Berry, I would get the Berry because I liked it, the silver scheme. But then I realized that the paint scheme actually was different. So now I'm glad I got it. And another thing, as the Josh Berry comparison is over, so I can put that car up. Another thing that I noticed about the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Diecast is that the Authentics paint scheme, or the Authentics Diecast, has the blurry decals. So definitely between the Gold Series and the Authentics, try to get the Gold Series one if you can, because you don't want to end up with the blurry decals, because they somehow figured a way to get blurry decals on the Xfinity cars, which is really unfortunate. The Xfinity Series and possibly we're going to probably get blurry decal trucks as well. So yeah, Lionel really needs to figure this stuff out with the decal cars. They already have plenty of these in their disposal, so they should have taken some of these and made Authentics diecast out of them. But of course they did not. Stay tuned for some more Dale Jr. diecast. There's probably going to be a new Hellman's one, and maybe a few other Dale Jr.'s, or any other diecast on this channel. Stay tuned for more content. Comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you guys in the next diecast review. And that was a pretty long video. I reviewed this individual diecast. Then I had to compare it to the Josh Berry. I wasn't expecting to have to do all this until I realized that the paint scheme was different. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Comment, like, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video on Project 94. And always remember to make sure that you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecasts.